Oh, thank God. Thank you, Yoel, for this meal. Amen. Yeah, they gave me. Well, this is what Yoel's Chiptole hooked us up with. Look how much food there is.
It's like 5 pounds.
It's like literally like.
They're gonna go bankrupt.
Nice.
So what do you typically talk about?
Let's just talk about the normal stuff we were talking about. This is just like unfiltered, no script. This is Yoel, by the way. We've been friends for a long time. Fun fact, we actually met in college. We were in the same club, and then he ignored me.
I don't know if I'd say that.
But I would have to say Yoel is one of the nicest, kindest, and also like, I would say one of the sharpest people. You tell him one thing, and he'll know how to do it. It's very rare that people have that capability. No, seriously, even...
I paid Chris to say all this.
Yeah, that's why we're staying at the Ritz. That's how much how rich he is. But he's very sharp. A lot of people don't have that acumen. Like, I remember Morgan was saying, like, how do you do your work so fast? I remember she was telling me, like, you just do it once and you get it done. You can just get it done in, like, a condensed time, where it requires people to do it hours and hours and hours. He just gets it.
It's not rocket science. It'll be okay.
Yeah. That's what gifted people say. No, but Yoel.
Do you remember, like, meeting in college? I remember it vaguely, but I'm not good with specifics.
I remember. I actually had from your Facebook message a long time ago.
Really?
I think I emailed you because I was part of the business transfer network.
And I, like, showed up one time, and then you're like...
Actually, fun fact, I chose Yoel a long time ago to be one of my mentees, and I gave him a lot of assignments. You probably don't remember this, but it was Charlie, Yoel, Diana.
Charlie. Okay.
And then the fourth one was June. And then I would always give them assignments.
Did I do that?
No, you literally didn't. You stopped coming.
I'm like, yeah, I don't remember anything.
You stopped.
I'm like, I feel like I would have remembered that.
But we were connected
What
though.
were the assignments?
It was just assignments like resume. There was stuff where it's just like stuff to help you. Just career stuff.
Building.
Just career building stuff. But in hindsight, you can't really need that.
I was a dumb college student.
No, it was interesting.
That's probably one of my biggest regrets, though, in college is not like participating more in like, clubs
right?
and stuff. Because
I agree.
You get out in the real world, and it's so much harder to network. Mm-hmm. And like people just like you feel like everyone wants something from you. Mm-hmm. Like if I go get coffee with somebody, it's like, or they want to schedule a call with me, it's like, okay, like, do you want a job? Like, why? Like, there's not really like that innocent, just like trying to like learn about the industry or whatever. Like, there's always an agenda behind everything. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with clubs in college, like it's genuinely just to like build a network, and like nobody's like made it yet, right? So everyone's just there and like trying to connect.
100%.
Which I think is cool, because once you're in the real world, that shit goes away.
It's hard, and you know the hard part is both me and him are transfers, so we only had 2 years to kind of figure everything out. And I think it's hard to figure out everything in 2 years. Like literally, we had to apply for internships that year in the fall time. Remember that? Like when I was like, well, how the hell am I supposed to know you're supposed to apply for an internship? And then it applies for the summer. Like no one told us that. Versus people that were there like freshman year, able to kind of build their repertoire, build their experience, and they know exactly that pipeline. So, hey, we made it.
Yeah, no, that's so true. I remember going to like because it's like their junior year, you start recruiting, right?
Yep, junior year.
For like senior year jobs or senior internship, whatever it was. And I remember like I was like a month or two into school, and like I like showed up to one of these things, and I was like, I'd never been to anything like it, and I was just like so nervous, and I just felt like so behind the 8 ball. And meanwhile, these other kids are coming in like super polished, like great resumes, like all this and that. And I was like, I go to a good school, but besides that, like, am I going to be able to find a job? Because these big firms, like, they start looking so far out. And yeah, I wasn't good at networking, I don't think, in college.
What were you good at in college?
Getting through.
Oh my God. No. What was he good at? Tell me what. You were probably just good in school anyways, like getting A's.
I mean, so I had like 2 internships, but they were like at nobody shops, right? Like it was small mom and pop stuff. And so.
In real estate, right?
Yeah. So it was good from like they actually paid me, which I know there was always like, basically there's, I don't want to call them scams, but like where,
1 second. Toothbrush time. Go ahead, Yoel. Keep talking.
hold on, I'll wait for you to get back.
Oh, toothbrushes?
Hi, sir.
Thank you.
Toothbrush and toothpaste. We actually don't have any slippers currently at the moment. We already made the order. It's just we're just waiting for them to get here or something.
Okay. Okay.
But
I'll
is there
get
anything else I can get you?
That's it. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Whoa. Is this a wood toothbrush? Oh, I have one too.
Okay, nice.
And then what is this? Olas. What kind of toothpaste is Olas? Is it fancy? What is it? Made out of cardboard?
I don't know, bamboo or something.
Interesting.
Um,
I have to inquire more. Didn't you do urban planning or something? I remember you did like some. Oh
Yeah.
no, it was phones. I remember.
Yeah, so I had one where they did 2 things. One was like they did all like the city stuff for building new development. So going through the city and getting all the approvals. 'Cause
Yep.
that's a whole black box. And then the other thing they did was the cell tower stuff.
I remember that.
New cell towers.
I remember.
But we we kind of got scammed on that one. I digress, but we were doing it for Spirit. Or what was it? No, Sprint.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
There's no
Throwback.
Sprint. There's no Sprint.
I don't know. Sprint. The Sprint's dead.
They
right?
merged. They merged T-Mobile.
Okay, yeah. So it was right before that was happening, and so all the work we were doing for them got like put on hold and then ultimately canceled. And so we didn't get paid anything, but these guys were like, nah, like we got stiffed, so you get stiffed. So
You see that? Wherever you are, hope you're out of business. Freaking group.
no, I think they're doing all right. But
Jeez.
anyways,
That's the worst.
there's people that where I was going with that was like there's people that exploit college students because it's like you're doing it for the experience, and so like either not paying people when they're working a lot. I don't think that's a thing as much now, but it definitely was where like you just have free labor from college students. So anyways, all
That's
that
terrible.
to say, like I worked a lot through college, so I feel like that was good to help me pay for college, but the downside was not really getting the full college experience.
Because did you stay in the dorms or did you stay in apartments? For your third year.
1 year in the dorms,
Where'd you stay?
that was weird.
Texture?
Yeah.
That one's a nasty one.
Yeah.
I stayed in Sprout Hall. Sprout Hall sucked. Sorry, Sprout Hall.
I
but-
had like 2 freshman roommates.
Oh, so that's not good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was interesting because I was the same age as them, but I was a junior. and
By
they
the way, Yoel's really talented. He's super young.
no, I look like I'm
He's actually
50.
22. No, he's not. But he was. I remember I was like when we first met, I was like, whoa, you're a lot younger than I thought you were, because he has a beard.
Yeah. My looks don't help me. But yeah, so I don't know. College was a thing, but yeah, I feel like transferring you obviously like save a lot of money and that's great.
100%.
But like from like the true college experience, I feel like it's not the same. It's
not the same.
As much as you can try to like make it better, like it's not.
Yeah, I agree. But I think
What
honestly,
was your
dude,
experience like?
if I got into UCLA as a freshman, I think I would have failed.
Really?
Dude, it's like so hard because we didn't have to go through all the GE,
All the GE stuff, yeah.
all the curves. Dude, we would have got axed from the major probably, the one that you're applying for, because people would just like, I've heard a lot of bad stories
That's fair.
where they just kill you to get you out. So my
fair.
experience, honestly, I really wanted to go to USC. I got into USC. The only reason why I wanted to go to USC is because I knew from a very young age, I knew that network mattered a lot. Like I knew it from the get-go, but I saw the price tag, I'm like, yeah, I can't afford this. But UCLA was interesting, but my experience was that. I
Nice.
did Dragon Boat too. Now, I would say overall, I didn't have like the best time. It was just average.
Yeah.
I will like what Yoel was saying earlier, I wish I would have done more. And I wish I was more strategic. Like back in time, I wish I would have done more like creator stuff, more tech stuff. Like imagine like having a pathway towards working towards like Google or something.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Did you have any mentors in college?
Not really. I don't think so. Like I
Do you think
had
that
like
would have been?
I think it would have been helpful before UCLA, like in community college in Mount Sac, like freshman year, that would have been really helpful to give you more guidance. Because I think like when you're at UCLA, So I revealed the school. Woo. Revealed the school. But when we got there, it's like, I think you can choose your destiny. Like you just get whatever resources you need, you can kind of get there. But if you don't know where you're going, you're just wasting your opportunity there. That's kind of what I felt like. I was wasting an opportunity.
Yeah.
But over time, I've figured out how to get to where I am now. But it's taken like a lot longer, like 7 years to get to where I am now. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely feel like I've been on a similar journey with like, I've gotten to places, but it's taken me longer.
Longer, right?
And I do think that's where it's important to be strategic about things, because it's easy to just kind of like take whatever's in front of you, like whatever opportunity presents itself. And I feel like that's what I've done. Like if this opportunity presented itself, then I would take it, and I wouldn't like think about like 2-3 steps down the road, like what am I setting myself up for now, because I think every step that we take now is setting us up for 2, 3, 4 steps down the road. And like you can always pivot, right? Like you can always, just because you start this direction doesn't mean you can't go that direction. But
Exactly.
I feel like in some sense, I like a lot of the people I work with, like I always felt like I was ahead of the curve, and like graduating college, whatever, and then with work now, like the people that I work with, a lot of the people that are at my level are like maybe 25, and I'm 27 now, so like I'm like shit, like
You're like, what the hell?
I'm 2 years behind now. Like how did I go from being ahead to being behind?
That's a good point.
I have more experience like from a career perspective, but like I mean they're making the same money as me, right? So like if you look at it purely economically, like I'm behind.
That's an interesting take, actually.
Which
I thought when we were talking last time, the people that were in your like similar levels, you were MBA students. Is that true or not? Like the mixture?
Yeah, there's like a few, but I don't think it's the value of the MBA. I think that's a whole nother topic of discussion, because yeah, there was some people that I've worked with at my level that have had MBAs, but I think that's where I think it's like some people go like an overachieve, and like that's great, but like I guess if you built your network, then maybe the value will come later. But like from a now perspective, like you're making the same as like the kid who like worked at a no-name shop for 2 years and somehow landed a job here.
Yep.
So I don't know, like is the 100,000 worth it? That's a whole.
Oh, you're talking about for the MBA, right?
Yeah, like that's a big investment.
I think I would only go selfishly is if I got into like Stanford.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'd go to them to get my MBA, because like that itself is that network. You get to literally meet like Airbnb. That's where it started. Who else was there? DoorDash was there.
Yeah.
Dude, the freaking Theranos girl was there.
Who's that?
Remember Theranos, the one that had the really deep voice? And she was like, you can just use a sample of your blood. You don't need to take a whole vial. You can get your blood. Dude, she was like super
Viral?
No, she was like, she lied to everybody.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was like, yeah, you don't need to have a little vial of blood. We just use your thumbprint. You can get all your blood samples from there. It was a really revolutionary idea. But yeah, it was a scam. You haven't known about Theranos?
No.
She's also from Stanford.
Wow.
There's a lot of like, no, it's all good. It's just like Stanford, it's a whole, even like freshman Stanford. Like I think that, like when you come in as a freshman, like versus a transfer or an MBA, freshman Stanford students they're like a whole, like I met this guy on Twitter, shout out to Tyler. I met him on Twitter. He's like a non-typical Stanford guy, because Stanford guys are like annoying, really wealthy, really confident, and a little bit arrogant.
Yeah.
He's the opposite. He's like very kind, gentle, but dude, he's like, I think he's a little bit younger than you, but he's like super smart. He was like, yeah, I got out, started working in private equity, and now he has his own startup. I was just awesome. Like, that's like that Stanford pipeline. It's like, work for a big name company, build your own thing.
Yeah.
Or you start from building. So it's like, that's the only place I'd want to go to is Stanford. But you got to be at you got to be like even further above the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So you already have to.
I feel like people who go to Stanford, they like started prepping.
They already knew already.
Like 5, 6, 7 years.
They
like,
knew already.
The amount of preparation that people put into getting into universities and colleges is insane.
I understand it now, like why I didn't get into certain schools. It's just the culture. Like if I went to Stanford, I probably would have died. Like you'd be like I feel like I'd be way too behind. Usually it's like a good balance. It's like you don't have to be super smart, you just gotta work really hard.
Yeah.
But Stanford, I think like that itself, That's like a whole new topic.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends from Stanford?
I know one guy, he went to UCLA and then I think he got his MBA from Stanford.
Dang.
And
That's pretty
he
good.
He literally, I think he worked at like Bain or something.
Oh yeah, so the big three.
And then he went to business school and then now he's literally doing a startup.
See, that's literally the pipeline. Stanford's like, find smart people to build business.
Yeah.
You know, that's also the reason. This is, by the way, I told you all this so many times. I told him just to get into venture capital. Get into venture capital so Big Daddy can give me money. Whenever I have a startup on the line.
I've been saying that.
I think you'd be so good in venture capital. Risk assessment, your financials are really good. You know how to qualify the market. You like check so many boxes.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just gonna manifest it when he gets into like some big VC fund, whatever it is. Not private equity, VC.
Yeah. I do think like sometimes I'm like with real estate, like it's pretty simple and I'm like this like it's not challenging for me and like I do want to be challenged with my work and so I definitely start to think like what else is out there, but it does feel like you got to kind of like either like go to business school and then like use that as like a pivot or like meet somebody somehow and that's your inroad, because I think the longer I stay in real estate or the longer I stay in this career path, the harder it is going to be to
get out, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, because I think I've always been, I think it was ever since like when you had your job in downtown Atlanta, maybe before that. For me, I've worked in tech, I've worked in like startups. I can recognize talent and like he has really good talent. Like it's unbelievable how, no, I'm like not even trying to like gas you up. It's like some people have talent where it's like it's either given to you from the beginning and you can kind of make with it, or they're just never given the opportunity to kind of get into that. And I think like he has all the stuff ready.
That's what I think too, right? Like if you can create something that like people want and you can create that demand, like the cost to manufacture a Gucci belt or 20, I'm thinking of
even cars.
Yeah.
Even cars. Like how can a car be worth like 300 grand? There's no way that it's worth 300 grand.
Yeah, or staying at a Ritz Carlton.
Ritz Carlton.
It's all
like, dude, like look at this room. It's all manufactured. No, that's a good point. I remember we talked about it too. Is like what kind of item can we provide to the market that has low cost but has high value? But yeah, people in venture capital are like they're a whole new breed. They think differently. They read all the time. They're always like they know the next step before everyone else does. Yeah. And I feel like he has that. He has like a sixth sense. Yeah. Sixth sense on making predictions and future stuff. So
I was thinking though, like a lot of success really comes down to like marketing. And that's something that I need to like whatever industry I want to be in, like I need to be good at marketing. And I think we talked about sales earlier, but like it's really like marketing yourself and then marketing, you know, whatever it is.
you're trying to sell.
And I was watching Shark Tank on the flight over, and it was like, you know, one of those updates where they like, oh, you know, 5 years ago, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it was the drink. It's like it was called like Mother's something. It's
it's for
kombucha, and now it's Poppy. And now Poppy, like you go to
1.5 bill. Did you hear about the acquisition?
No,
they just got acquired like yesterday.
Oh, really?
By Pepsi, 1.5 billion.
Wow,
dude! Yeah, whoever was that investor, who bought it?
It was one of the guest sharks. It was an Indian guy.
Oh, he bought it?
Yeah, he like doubled. He invested in them, and then he doubled down. But they're like from Santa Monica, or they were living in Santa Monica at the time. But yeah, it's just one of those things where like it looked like, you know, like an everyday like whatever like. And then you just repackage it, remarket it, and it's like, obviously I think there's some current there with like rising tide as far as like people wanting to be healthier and like people like soda, but like there's a kind of almost a stigma attached to soda. Yeah. Maybe not Diet Coke, because Diet Coke's like the exception. But yeah, it's just interesting how like that's just like a marketing thing, and the product is the product, but they've obviously done really well, and I feel like half of it's marketing.
Do you like Poppy? I don't like Poppy.
Really?
Dude, it's like $2.50.
Well, yeah, that's what
It's
I'm
like
saying.
$2.50.
Their margins, right? Like relative to soda, like how much you pay for a soda at the store, right?
Yeah.
You can get like a 2 liter for like, I don't know, like $3.
Couple bucks.
Yeah, you get like your typical like 20 ounce. It's like, I don't know, $1.50, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, inflation, but
Inflation.
yeah, Poppy is like at $2.50.
Even at Costco.
like a 12 ounce, yeah.
Even at Costco, you get like a 24 pack. It's like almost $20. You're like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
No, it's really good though. I mean,
You like Poppy?
I do like.
I don't like the flavors though. I only like root beer.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like the other ones.
So you don't like because it is different in that like soda. It's more like fruit flavors. Maybe they have some other like Diet Cola and stuff, but anyways.
But marketing, I think that's a skill that I wish we all learned early in life, like when we were little kids, like how to market yourself, how to be scrappy. Because I feel like the people that did get into big colleges, the good ones, is they've been doing it ever since they were young.
Yeah.
They've had that inside them. Or I think we all have it. We just have to unlock it somehow.
Yeah, I do
So-
think it's like some of it's just timing too.
Just
like,
timing.
You know, some people like they entered a space at the right time and they just rode the current. And I feel like that's part of it too. But like if you don't put yourself out there, you're not gonna like be in the river to like ride the current. Like if you stay on the shore all the time and don't really take that step, then
No, that's a good. Remember the funny thing. You brought me a memory. Remember when you still lived in LA and I showed you my notebook of all those 5 years, and I showed you that I
Yeah.
went backpacking. Dude, it was possible.
that's awesome.
Backpacking, and then I wanted to become a creator, get in the creative space.
That's so cool.
It all happened. So like what he's saying earlier, we actually talked about it in the hot tub. Random side story. We were talking, and like this, I don't know how old she was, like 20 something years old. She was really young. She came over to us. She was like, Can I listen to your conversation? Maybe it's an LA thing, but it just felt really weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was very, I don't know if it was LA, but it was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Good for her though. I'm sorry. If I heard a good conversation, I would eavesdrop, but I wouldn't come over after and be like, "Hey, can I keep listening to your conversation?" But anyways,
weird.
teach their own.
But yeah, the reason why I bring that up is like, he's right. We were talking about ecosystems. If you're in the right ecosystem, the right spot, wherever you're trying to go, let's say like for Yoel, good VC places are like SF. I think even Boston, because Boston has like MIT, Harvard.
Yeah.
New York has really good VC too. So I'm not sure about DC. DC's like politics, but maybe he's gonna become like a president or something. Who knows? But yeah, we were talking about ecosystems, and it's so true. If you're in the right space, right time, and you even like on the outside of that ecosystem,
Yeah.
once you're absorbed in, you're in.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. And ecosystems can even be like teams or companies too. If you're in the right company at the right time, then like for example, like Mother's Nature or whatever it's called. Now it's like what was their valuation? Do you remember what they had in 2015? Was it like 10 million?
Whatever. Are you asking what the Shark Tank valuation was?
Yeah. You know how they're like, oh yeah, our value, we'll give you
yeah.
10% at 1.5 valuation.
I don't know. Probably some like I don't feel like anything on Shark Tank is ever like the craziest it'll be.
Yeah,
like,
it was like
10 million.
10 million, right? So 10 million to 1.5 billion. That's like 1,000x, dude.
Yeah, that's insane.
Or whatever that number is. Like, holy shit, that guy must have cashed out.
Yeah.
250 mil because he got what, 25%? Yeah, he would have got
Something like
250.
that, yeah.
250 mil. See, that's what I'm saying. He needs to get into venture capital or angel investing.
Yeah.
He can find all those up because I wouldn't even know that would be the right thing. And I don't even know how that guy helped get them to where they're at now.
I mean, I feel like a lot of Shark Tank is literally just like connections, right? It's like I can introduce you to this person. That's literally like worth millions of dollars, which is insane to think about it. But like building a network, like we think about it as like, oh, it's something it's good to do, or like it'll help my career progression. But like it's in terms of like dollars, like it can be worth like millions of dollars because they're willing to take a haircut on their valuation just in order to work with this shark because the shark has this connection to this person,
The next person.
or to this retailer or whatever it is. So like there's huge dollar value associated with
Does that
having
mean,
a good
is it a sign that we should build a company? We just gotta, is it that simple? Sometimes it is that simple. But
What's
you
the
gotta,
product though, right? Like
the product,
you gotta solve a problem. I
Yep.
think at the end of the day.
yep, solve a problem, get people to buy it consistently, or have a high ticketed item. It's like one of the two. It's like volume or something that's like really expensive, like a big car, like a nice car, like a diamond or a Rolex. I feel like that's a scam. I feel like Rolexes are a scam, dude.
Yeah.
100%. Like, how is a watch worth like 10, 20K?
Yeah.
One single
starting,
watch.
Like you can spend.
Right? Yeah. And then it goes up from there. There's even something more expensive than Rolex. They're called, I forgot what they're called, but like, I see YouTubers buy it. They're like 500K, whatever that crazy ass number is.
Yeah, the whole designer like
That
industry is just like crazy to me because you feel the quality of some of the stuff and you're like, it feels like it's $100 item and then you slap a logo on it and now it's
Boom.
$1,000. Like it's
That's
crazy.
literally what he was saying earlier about marketing.
Yeah.
I wish we knew more of marketing, but anywho, I know probably you all's tired. Anything else you want to say? Anything you want? Oh, you know what I like to ask during like these fun talks? I like to ask about what's your future prediction for 2025? Like some examples are like Bitcoin 150K. Let's say Donald Trump decides to, I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah, like what is your prediction for this year? It can be anything. It can be economics, it can be political, it can be socioeconomic. What's one prediction
That's an
that
interesting
you
question.
and then we'll circle back the next time we talk. I'll give you some time. It's like me and you were creators. They bought
Interesting.
15% equity into the
Wow.
creator.
That's cool.
So they fund them like $1 million. So they just like here, shotgun, make more videos, high produce more, because they recognize like community that they're
Instead
involved.
of buying like a sports team or like
You can buy a creator.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was like super huge.
Yeah, I saw what's it called? Private equities like now like can invest in like the NFL or
That's
some of
evil.
these professional leagues.
That's
Yeah.
evil. They need to stay away from sports, dude. They're gonna have a stacked team or like make it unfun anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's a way for these owners to generate liquidity, but
Super liquidity. Otherwise, it's like who's gonna buy a $5 billion NFL team?
My prediction is that I would short California as a state.
That's a bold prediction.
I don't know what that means, but like obviously you've seen some companies leaving California.
Yeah.
I think this is like on a downward trend. So like if I was to invest in anything, like I wouldn't necessarily invest in California.
That's a good point, actually. There's so much other real estate in other places, even though the weather's really crappy or they're not as diverse.
I'm not saying things are gonna like the floor is gonna fall out
Yeah.
under, but like I would not like be like building here and expecting like things to like keep growing like great like they have like California has become. I think it's like the 5th largest economy in the world or something. So
Yeah.
it is always gonna be big, but like I don't think that the growth is gonna continue. So like if other places are growing, like it's gonna slowly just drop in
I see.
things, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Kind of like rising states like Texas, obviously.
Yeah.
Florida's a cool one. What else is rising currently? Even like Phoenix. He was telling me a 2-bedroom in Phoenix is $2,500. Who would, okay, sorry Phoenix, if you're any Phoenix listeners. Who would live in Phoenix, Texas? Phoenix, Arizona for $2,500. They're like the same prices here,
Yeah.
relatively, depending where you are in
Yeah.
LA.
But I guess you got like no income. No, that's not Arizona. But like, you know, gas is cheaper. Like
Yeah.
overall, it still is more affordable cost of
affordable,
living.
right?
But I do think one thing that's interesting is like how companies compensate people. Like there was that whole thing where like some companies would like compensate you flat, like no matter where you were, or like they
Ooh.
wouldn't know where you were.
Yep.
And like other companies are very like, oh, like in this market you make this much, in that market you make that much, and I guess I would say so. Like people are gonna be attracted to like markets that like the dollar goes further.
I see. So it's like if you live in Tennessee and you're paying like let's say 80K
Yeah.
versus in the Bay you get paid 120.
Yeah.
But it's like more sustainable to live in Tennessee.
Well,
'cause you
yeah,
can go
and
further.
like as long as you can attract talent, you think about it from the company's perspective. Like as long as you can get talent, like it costs you 80K for somebody in Texas and 120 for somebody in California. Like it's more economical for you to have somebody in Texas too. So I just think like again, I have California. I think the politics are starting to change a little bit, but yeah, even just like I don't know, coming into LAX and I'm like, dude, like this place is a mess. Like, I know it's like gonna get better and stuff with the Olympics, but
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be
It's,
exciting. That's a good point.
that's my
That's a good prediction. Shorting California. You know what that means?
I
Buy
don't know.
real estate.
Yeah,
Buy
I
real
don't-
estate in other states.
what would be yours?
My prediction.
used-
I just asked the questions.
But-
You're supposed to answer. I asked the questions. Should be both. And that's where we ended, everybody. Anything
Thanks,
else you want to say?
Chris.
Anything else you want to
No.
say before we end?
This was fun.
So,
I liked it more than I thought I would.
right, it's cool. So,
You're a great person to talk to. Not
you.
everyone's easy to talk to.
thank you.
So keep it up.
Here we go. All right, folks, that's it. And we end. And I'm getting an outro here. I'm just putting my Mr. Beast photo here. So like and subscribe, you know, the typical stuff. If you like the podcast, leave a comment below, add a sub. If you have any other people that you want me to interview, yo, I'm there. And click here for more videos. Peace.